Hi, Melanie Muenchinger here, illustrator for Gina K Designs. Today I have a new project for you with one of the flower sets in my Stately Flowers series line, Stately Flowers 2. The reason I chose Stately Flowers 2 today is because I want to go through and show you how to color every flower in my series. I'm getting close now, but I thought this camellia, which I have two sizes for in this set, would be perfect for showing off this reverse masking technique you do with sponges and just some scratch paper. I also love the other florals in this set as well as the greetings. They work for a lot of different occasions. Reverse masking is basically just stamping out your image onto some scratch paper and then cutting out and saving the outline. You will want to use this part to cover and sponge around for when you're doing backgrounds, but this is a very easy way to get blended color inside the image rather than having to color it with a marker, pencil, or other medium. The other products that you will need for this particular card, in addition to the Stately Flowers 2 set, are some ink pads. I've got the Gina K Sweet Mango, Passionate Pink, and Black Onyx for stamping that outline. The cardstock that we're using today, I have got some Pure Luxury Sweet Mango. This is 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored at 5 1/2. I like to do top fold cards just because they're easier to photograph, but by all means do side fold whenever you feel like it if that's preferable to you. And then just some layering weight wide cardstock, and this is 4 inches by 5 1/4 just to layer on with a 1/8 inch border. The markers that we're using today, I'm just going to supplement the sponge coloring a little bit with some Spectrum Noir markers. Any alcohol markers or even water-based markers will do because you're just doing a little outline, so you really don't have to worry about the blending properties. I've got the CG3 and CG4 for doing the leaves, and then I chose the BP4, which is a bright pink, and the CR10, which is a coral red, for tracing just around a few of those petals if you want to add some shading. We've also got the Wink of Stella glitter pen, and this is great for just adding a little bit of glitter. It dries almost instantly. I have some sponge daubers, so I have different ones for my different colors, and this keeps from the color getting muddy. So it's nice to have one for each color group, so all your oranges, all your pinks, etc. Just some acrylic blocks for those images, some adhesive, and just some little scissors for cutting out your mask, although we're not doing any cutting on this project, and finally your scratch paper. So like I showed you before, you're going to want to stamp out your flower, and then I just went in and cut everything but the leaf, okay? The leaf is going to be separate. Now we are going to be coloring the leaf in with the markers after we do our sponging, but if you have an ink pad that works for the leaves that you want to use, then you might want to choose to make a second mask where you leave the flower and just cut out the leaf, and you will be able to cover up your image with that. I just didn't have a green ink pad today that was quite as bright as I was wanting, so that's why I went ahead and I'm just using markers for those leaves. So after you cut this out, make sure that you save this. You'll be able to use this on all kinds of projects. All right, so let's take our mat and our image. And you'll notice that this is in rubber. All of the Stately Flowers sets from here on out are in clear. We started with Stately Flowers 4, but you can see on these rubber, you'll have a nice deep etching, and these are laser cut, so it goes exactly around that image in less than 1/16 of a border. So it's very easy to see where you're stamping. All right, so we're going to ink this up. You want to make sure you get right to the middle of that flower. Okay, and let's put this here just for a reference so you can see what we're doing. So I want to leave some room for the greeting at the top. So I'm going to start with a flower here and ink it up again. And then I'm going to turn it so that these leaves and flowers are just going to nest together like a puzzle. I love creating backgrounds like this. Okay, and then we'll turn it, and I'll put it right in here. And you can have them overlap or not, it's up to you. And I'll put the leaf in there. And then I want to have one big blossom up here. And then I'm just going to fill in a little bit more with leaves. And last one. Okay, and we'll go ahead and put our greeting on there. Forever and always. This works for all kinds of things. Lots of different occasions. Okay. All right, so that's all the stamping that we're doing. I'll put that aside. Now let's go ahead and you'll see how easy it is to figure out how to line this up when you leave the leaf on there. So you're just going to turn it, place the leaf right over it, and there is the boundary for adding color to that flower. If you'd like to use some kind of repositionable adhesive underneath this to hold it, you can. I'm just going to hold it with my fingers though. Okay, so we're going to take our orange sponge dauber and our orange pad, swirl it around on the surface of the pad, hold it down, and we're just going to go around those edges. And I'm going to go lighter on the outside, and then I'm going to make it darker on the inside. And there you have it, perfectly colored in. Okay, now let's do a pink one up here. So I'm going to turn it, line up those leaves. And you want to make sure that when you are cutting out the mask, and I have done this before, you need to make sure that you leave a large enough border around here so that you have room for your sponging. I've accidentally cut one too close to the corner of a piece of paper, and then I had to be very, very careful that I wasn't going off of that mat with my sponging. So give yourself lots of room so you don't have to worry about that. Oops, that's still the orange. Okay, so the pink. Okay, so we'll do a pink one up here. And you can make it darker around the edge and lighter in the center, or vice versa. And I was out looking at bathing suits when I saw just all these really beautiful colors, and I'm just so ready for spring, so this is just such a cheerful card after all the wet, cold weather we've had lately. Okay, so there's your pink one. Now let me show you how pretty these are going to look when you swirl them together on one image. Kind of like those enhanced flowers that you see in the market. Maybe they're not all enhanced, but they certainly look like it the way that their colors are. Hey, oh my goodness. Excuse me, I didn't put her away. I thought I could trust her today, and she's getting in the frame. Okay. So I'm going to do the orange first, but you can go in either order because these colors are pretty close. Okay, so I'm just going to do some orange at the top and switch to my pink dauber. See how pretty those go together? It's a little trickier on the corner when you don't have the whole thing covered up. Okay, and then we'll do this last one down here, and I think I'll do this one orange and pink as well. So find the leaf, and it lines right up. Do some pink, and then add the orange. See how quick and easy that is? It's perfect. Okay, now, oh, I went off of it a little bit. There you go. Go back in. So if you get off the edge, then just go back, put your mask back on. All right, and then we have just a tiny bit here and here. So I'll do just some pink here. There we go. And then we'll put a little bit over here. But this is going to save you a lot of marker, a lot of ink refills, and just a lot of time and hassle with blending. Okay, so we're done with our pads now. Now let's grab that CG3 marker. And if you're using Copics, I'd probably recommend the YG03 and the YG67. These are very faded here after several years of using this particular chart, but the YG03 and the YG67 would be good substitutes for this CG3 and CG4. Okay, so since we have a pretty large area here, I'm going to go ahead and use the chisel tipped. Would you stop that? Okay, so the green on the leaves. So just fill this in really quickly with the chisel tip. This is nice for when you're doing large areas. Goes on a little faster than that fine point, but you do have to be more careful because you don't have such a precision tip. And then I'm going to use the CG4 just to trace over some of these little shadows and veins. And I decided not to blend today because I'm just going for a more artistic look rather than a realistic look. I saw some beautiful textiles at the mall of floral prints, which are very in this season. And it made me had a flashback to junior high and high school and different times in my life when floral prints have been so popular, and it's back. Okay? All right, now I'm going to take this bright pink. I'm going to use the bullet tip, and I'm just going to go under some of these petals. So just tracing. I'm not really coloring. I'm just tracing around the outline of that image. Maybe just a few of the little veins in the middle. Put some over here. Just thought that was such a fun look with this bright pink. So we'll do this on this pink flower up here. And you don't have to do every one since we're going for more of a impressionistic, artistic look. Don't go too crazy about feeling like you have to trace every little petal. Just put in just some hints of color to make them pop a little bit more. Okay, and now I'm going to use this coral red. It's like a fiery orange. I'm just going to dab this underneath and around some of the edges of these petals again. You can put some on the same flower since we've got the orange blending with the pink on this one. You can put some pink on this one too if you like. Put some at the top of this where all these colors are going together. Okay, now let's dress it up a little bit with this glitter pen. People always just go crazy when they see glitter on cards. And I hope that you can see this sparkle on here under the light, just how much of a difference that makes, and people will turn it back and forth the light and ooh and ah. So I'm just dabbing it, just doing a swipe down the center of each of these top petals. And the tip of this pen stays nice and wet. But if you feel like not enough glitter is coming out, just give it a small squeeze, not too much, or you really will get a big blob of it come out. But it really basically just refills itself on its own, and then you might want to do a stripe down each of those leaves. And then you can just hold it and twist it in the light and see if you've got as much glitter on as you want. That looks good to me. And we'll just add a little bit of adhesive. And pop it onto our card, and we are finished. Found that so much easier than trying to go from orange to pink if I was using my markers, and that would be great for maybe a flower like a pansy where you have a deep purple and a yellow on the same flower. You could blend them very easily together with just sponge daubers. I hope you enjoy this technique and this project and this set. Please visit my blog, Hands, Head, and Heart, for more inspiration and ideas using all my stamp sets. Visit our YouTube channel and Stamp TV. Thank you so much for watching today, and God bless.